and get started. We have quite a few more people that have RSVP'd, but I think with this gorgeous weather we have, some people may choose to stay at work and actually work a little bit later. But we'll go ahead and get started. So again, thanks everyone for coming out. Hopefully you've had a chance to mix a little bit, introduce yourselves to some people that you're sitting beside of. We're trying to leverage these type sessions for information, but it's also to create better networking amongst the different companies here at the park. So I think we have an opportunity to chat a bit more with the neighbors and people that you don't know here. So we'd like to also thank Liz and her team for hosting this. Liz is the Executive Director, Executive Vice President for the RTP Foundation, which is the building here. And I've heard tons of comments here about how gorgeous the building it is. So they have agreed to host these speaker series for us, and we are doing these speaker series once a month. Last month we had Craig Nygaard here from IBM speak on IBM's Smarter Planet initiatives. The next month we're going to have BD Technologies talk about some of their incubation programs, and so that will be, I think it's May 7th, and so that will be coming out in some notices. We also have a LinkedIn group, so if you have not joined that, I recommend that you join the LinkedIn group. Basically, it's Innovation in RTP. And that way you can also get notices about who's going to speak and what are the topics and the timing of those. So with that, we'll get started. The format today, I expect to take probably about 30 minutes and cover some material, and then I'm going to go into a virtual environment for a bit, move around and give you an actual demonstration of what these virtual environments are, what the capabilities are within these environments. But at any time, feel free to ask me questions. I'm going to be using a product from Nortel called Web.Live as the example of the virtual environment. It's a product that we've sold to Lenovo, who have now created an e-lounge. Have any of you been to the e-lounge? Okay, so we have a couple of people that have actually tried out the e-lounge. So I'm going to do a quick walkthrough through it. If any of you have your PCs, I don't see that you have them. I was going to welcome you to kick them up and you can join me in the lounge, but otherwise I'll just control it through here, but you'll be able to see what's happening in the environment. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started. So basically, and I think you can hear me fine without the mics, so we'll probably move a little bit back and forth. So how many of you today use the web as part of the work that you do? Can you imagine doing your work today without the web, without access to internet? Just how difficult that would be. And the internet is a recent phenomenon. It's not like it's been here for 20 years from a business perspective, from an enterprise perspective. So I guess my challenge or my statement today is that in 5 years, if I were to ask that same question about the immersive internet, you'll also be raising your hand. And that is a business tool that you use, that you would find it very difficult to do your day-to-day job without having access to it. And I'm going to go through today what that is, what exactly is the immersive internet, and why do I think that it's going to be that prevalent in the next 5 years. So basically, the immersive internet is a collection of technologies. It's a collection of technologies that are based on everything from the virtual worlds that you see today, such as Second Life. It's a combination of the different immersive learning simulations that are used in medical training, that are used in military applications. You combine that with some of the serious game activity that's going on, as well as 3D business applications. And you take all of that technology and you combine it with some of the social culture that we're seeing emerge today and become stronger and stronger. And that social culture that's being driven by IMs, Twitters, blogs, and whatever next is going to come through. These experiences combined to give the users an immersive experience in a virtual environment, even though they feel like they are potentially in the real world. So it gives you that reality-based experience without actually being face-to-face or in an actual environment. Your enterprise collaboration strategy. So as IT management within your companies, you have a collection of tools that are brought together to allow you to interact with your teams and to review data, to process data, whether you're co-located, and if you're lucky, you're co-located. In most cases, you're not co-located. You're located across the world. You're across the globe. And this, I see, is yet just another technology that's coming in from the sides. So what you have today, your emails that you have, your different business applications that you're running, all your SAP applications, your SaaS applications, telepresence, voice conferencing, all of those. This is a technology that's going to come in from the side that's going to further incorporate the other technologies to provide that type of immersion. And I see that early adopters of this technology, you're going to feel the pain of the early adoption. Because this is such a new technology, there's still lots of new players coming into the space. But you're going to learn from it. You're going to learn different business models. You're going to learn different ways of engagement, not just with your internal teams, but with customers, with suppliers, and you're going to leapfrog those people that choose to worry with that. That's just something for kids to play with. I'll get involved in it later on. You're going to be so far ahead of others as you choose to embrace more of the technologies that I'm going to go through today. So again, think of this as strategic. This is a strategic investment. It's an enabler for you to actually start to shift and to change the way that you look at your business models, the way you look at interactions amongst your employees. So as I've said, it's a new technology. It's projected to be mainstream in 5 years. So why? Why 5 years? Why that time horizon? So if you look at today's youth are our next business leaders. They're the next employees. They're your next purchasers of the products that you're buying. They're going to be the decision makers within the next 5 years. They are growing up in a culture that is multiplayer video games. They are engaging in social networks. How many of you know kids today who can IM without even looking at the device that they're using? It's scary when you think about them driving, but that's the youth that we have that are going through our K-12 system, that's going to go through the universities, that are going to be hitting the workplace. They are going to demand this type of technology as they go into business. A case in point of that is your medical doctors. If you look at e-files, electronic files, such a basic concept for most of us, some of our physicians that we probably go to today are refusing to give up their paper files with little color-coded filing system tags. Yet the new physicians graduating from medical universities are saying, if you can't send me this patient's record on my BlackBerry, I'm not going to work in this office. It's crazy. That's what these same youth are going to be saying 5 years from now. They're going to come in here and say, I've got to what? Pick up a phone and maybe do a voice conference call for 5 other people? Are you crazy? That's not effective. We've got to start thinking of those modes of thinking. We've got to put ourselves in the position of people that are coming up, that are going to be the next people that we're going to work with, that we're going to hire, that are going to be, potentially we will be working for. Our slow economy and the green movement are working together to basically say businesses are cutting out travel costs. They are cutting out things like a face-to-face meeting is a luxury these days. Conferencing, being able to go to different conferences, whether it's a sales conference or a learning conference, that is becoming a business luxury today. You combine that with companies becoming more carbon aware. They want to have a less of a carbon footprint, so therefore they don't want to be traveling. So when you combine these, you can look at different tools such as virtual environments as a way to reduce costs and to be more aware of the impact that you have on the environment. There are some early return on investment proofs that are being seen here. We've got Accenture. Accenture basically does recruiting now virtually. So they have teamed with Second Life to create these virtual worldwide events to recruiting. They feel that they are being able to pay off their entire investment in just 5 or 6 world events. Microsoft, they do virtual marketing events at about 1/3 of the cost of physical events. Now the question there is, are the virtual events as effective as the physical events? So that effectiveness hasn't necessarily been measured yet, so it is something that you have to take into